Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Intellectual Films, and this video is long overdue. But in case you need additional evidence that Green Lantern is one of the better characters in the game, especially for beginners, let's just jump into the cockpit and let's talk about Hal Jordan, Green Lantern. I'm going to start off first off with his appearance. So he's one of the more attractive characters in the game in terms of his body armor. A lot of characters are given armor in this game when they are promoted to legendary status. He's got a really cool shoulder pad that displays the willpower. Additionally, he's got the holographic willpower generating from his chest, which is really cool. I also love the gauntlets he's got going on there. Little cartoonish for my liking, honestly, but it overall looks very good. Green Lantern's a favorite of mine from the DC Comics, so he's definitely a character that I gravitate towards. Let's go ahead and go into his superpowers, his moves, his kit, whatever you want to call it. Of course, you've probably heard this a million times before, so I'm going to try to be innovative here, try to keep it interesting for you guys, and just go over how I think you should invest in his legendary moves and what abilities you should upgrade, depending on how you use them, of course. He's mainly a defensive / supportive character, so if you are building a team in that manner, he might be a character you want to use on your teams. I haven't seen him as much in PvP as of late, but you certainly still see him because he's very good on the defensive side. So if you want to get some defensive wins, he's definitely a leadership you may want to invest in. As a matter of fact, let's actually start with his leadership. His leadership's actually fairly useful. All allies gain stun immunity and 16% shield at the start of battle. Now, the reason why I say this is because you'll actually go up against a lot of opponents that are using Green Lantern. Whether they're using as a leader or not, he can still stun you early on in the match. Again, especially if they're using him as a leader. So this is a very good way to counter it because it applies to stun immunity, of course, to your team. Getting stunned by Lantern in the opening turn is fairly annoying, and it could lead to an early outing if you're not careful for one of your characters, depending on who else he has matched in his team. So is this something you want to invest in? Sure, if you have good synergies available. If you have somebody like Doomsday, who can benefit also from the legendary power as well. Also, if you have I would say somebody squishy like Cyborg or Huntress, definitely use Green Lantern as well. Let's go into his Power Gauntlet, the most famous move that he has in his kit, because of his the legendary ability that it gives you, as well as its chance to provide shields to the entire team. So not only can you use his leadership, but you can also add additional shields as you progress with Green Lantern by using his Power Gauntlet. Now it's fairly weak in terms of damage, only about 1,000 to 1,500 damage you'll get out of it if it is upgraded to the level that Mines is. The great thing is, again, coin flip chance to apply a shield to a teammate. So again, if you are using his leadership, you're getting even more shields if he attacks using his Power Gauntlet. If you use the legendary power-up, which I highly recommend, you get to call an assist. Now, for somebody like Doomsday, who's very slow to start off, but he needs to build buffs as the match progresses, or somebody like Cyborg, this is very useful. This is certainly a legendary power-up that you want to apply. Again, calling assists. I don't know why this happens, but whenever I have Cyborg on my team, he's usually the character that I get an assist from. I may just have very good RNG. I don't know, but that's what usually tends to happen. So this is a very, very useful move in almost any team, I would say. Huntress is another great example. You want to use any character that has a condition for their first move that they can benefit off of. It's very useful. Again, Cyborg has the strength up. Huntress has plus 40 damage if they're below 50 health. So, and again, it is a matter of RNG overall, but it's still very, very useful. Strength of Will, which is his second move, gain 31 shield. Now, if this is fully upgraded, I do want to note this. If this is fully upgraded and coupled with his leadership, you can get and you use this on your first turn, you can start off with 67% shield, which is insane, and also gain a 25% turn meter back, which, again, you're getting your second move, whether you're going to use Hammer Time, or Power Gauntlet fairly quickly. It's insane value there, I think. And in addition now, his legendary ability, cooldown for all Green Lanterns, for all his powers, maybe not the best one to invest in. It's certainly okay if you want to use Hammer Time fairly often. Wouldn't prioritize that, but something you may want to think about if you're building him in a certain way or in a certain light. Hammer Time, one of the more useful abilities in the game because it stuns the opponent. Now, it goes without saying that you should have this at level 5 indefinitely, I think, because of that plus 20% stun chance. So you're guaranteed to stun every time you use this move. Usually people start the match off with this move. Whatever character is the most threatening towards you and towards eliminating one of your characters, let's say, you want to use this move. Even I know people want to have that advantage. But using it on even somebody who has a disadvantage against something like Zatanna, I would recommend, because she does an insane amount of damage and could one-shot one of your characters. So Hammer Time is certainly useful in any scenario, I think, just because of the stun that it provides. Would I recommend investing in leadership power? Not really, unless you're running into a lot of, let's say, Doomsdays or Cyborgs. Unless you're running into those characters, not really useful to purge 10 buffs from the target, but certainly something to think about in the long run. And again, it just makes Green Lantern that much more useful. Hard Light. Now, this is one of the more interesting ones because it just makes him into a tank, as if he were not a tank already. Now, for those of you guys that don't know, agility up increases your defense. So this can be very useful if you have your shield up and gain 1 agility at the end of each ally's turn if Green Lantern is shielded. Again, if you have your shield up, this is very useful. Only a 10% chance, but again, this applies for every ally. So you have a fair amount of chances to apply agility up here. This is one of the last ones that I would invest in if I were you. It's certainly okay. I wouldn't say it's a priority for you guys. I wouldn't say it's demanded of you to use this, even though it makes him far more tanky. But he's already tanky enough if you are upgrading. I suppose you would have to decide if you want to upgrade his Strength of Will in addition to his leadership, then you have to pick between Hard Light and Strength of Will. So if you're already investing in Strength of Will, then stick off the Hard Light for a little while. If you want to invest in Hard Light, if you think this is a better investment, then invest in Hard Light and stick off the Strength of Will, I would say. So pick one of those, but in the long run, of course, you would upgrade all of them. So Hard Light overall, do I think you should legendary power this? Again, you can decide for yourself, honestly, how you want to rank these abilities. Again, either one of these, Strength of Will, Hammer Time, or Hard Light, depending on what you want. Strength Up, do I think this is totally worth it? No, he doesn't do that much damage. Again, his Power Gauntlet doesn't do much, but it does provide the assist, which is great. Hammer Time may be one thing you want to invest in, but the whole point of Hammer Time is to just stun your opponent as opposed to completely eliminate them. That kind of negates the whole advantage you have for stunning them. So Green Lantern, very popular character. I'm sure a lot of you guys have invested in him and are using him quite frequently in PvP or just in story mode. He's very good, very tanky, great support character. If you're not using him already, it's probably because you're a veteran in this game and you have other characters that or rather other strategies that you employ now that you find more effective than, let's say, the whole defensive shields that Green Lantern provides. So let me know what you guys think of Green Lantern. If you are using him, tell me why you're not using him. I actually want to know what made you guys turn away from Green Lantern. I know a lot of us started off with Green Lantern and we thought he was great and probably still think he is great, but let me know what you guys are using now as your teams. Are you using more aggressive teams and that's why you've turned away from Green Lantern? I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you guys soon. Cheers.